Hello everyone! Today's book is Mindy Kim Makes Splash, and we're going to read Chapter 5. Chapter 5. In the next few classes, we learn how to float more and properly move in the water. Soon I was ready to go up and down the shallow end on my own. Well, sort of. I still had a foam noodle in front of me, and Miss Wilson was within arm's reach in case anything happened. But I was kicking by it myself and breathing correctly too. Focusing on holding my breath for 5 seconds before turning my head to take a breath on my side, I slowly but surely moved across the water. That's it, Mindy, said Miss Wilson. Now let's add our arms. It's okay if you forgot to move them from time to time, but try lifting your arms one by one. Remember, up into the sky, back into the water, and to your side. Up into the sky, back into the water, and to your side. To help myself remember to do everything, I counted as I kicked 5 times and left my right arm to take a breath. Then I did the same on my left side. Up to the sky, back into the water, and to my side. Up to the sky, back into my water, and to my side. My head hurt a little from trying to remember all the steps, but it was still fun. Miss Wilson had helped me go all the way to the opposite end of the pool and then back. By the third time, I didn't have to think about what my body was doing as much as I could think more about other stuff. As I swam, I imagined all sort of funny things, like what would happen if Theodore jumped into the pool to swim with me, and how nice it would be to be able to swim with my friend Sally during PE. Our house didn't have a pool, but Sally's did. Maybe one day we could all go over to her house for a swimming party, and I could go on the snorkel trip at Key West with Dad and Julie, or even swim with manatees and dolphins. Little kids didn't have to do as many laps, but since she thought I was ready, Miss Wilson had to do 4 laps total. By the last one, I was pretty tired, but it kept me going to think about all the fun I would have with my friends and family. It was going to be a whole new world after I learned how to swim. Chapter 6. After a couple more lessons, Miss Wilson moved me to the higher level class, where I could more quickly learn how to swim by myself. I was kind of scared, but I was also excited. Finally, I was with kids my age. On my first day in the new level, I saw Lindsay, one of my friends from school. And Lindsay and I had been in the same class together in 3rd grade, but we were in different classes now, so I hardly saw her at school anymore. Still, I was so happy to see someone I knew that I gave her a big friendly wave. Hey, I said, I didn't know you took swim lessons too. I just got moved up from the class for little kids. Hi, she replied, waving back at me. Yeah, I do. I know the basics on how to float and all that since my dad taught me for safety lessons. But I'm still not as good as the kids in school, so I'm here. I'm glad I'm not the only one who has to take classes. I never learned to swim much while I lived in Minnesota. I laughed. I'm glad too. I was getting lonely in the other class since all the other kids were babies. We didn't swim in my old school in San Francisco either. Soon it was my turn to take straight swimming in the shallow and without the noodle. It's okay to stop swimming at any time and just then if you feel like you need to, Mindy, Miss Wilson reminded me. But otherwise, remember to keep floating on your belly and continue moving your arms and legs. I nodded, as excited as I was to finally swim on my own. I felt nervous. I could hear my heart pounding. Previously, Miss Wilson had stood nearby and guided me as I swam. But this time I was going to swim by myself with her just following me from behind. I really hoped I wouldn't panic or swim into anything. When Miss Wilson blew her whistle, I pushed forward into the water. I made sure to remember to keep kicking and moving my arms and breathing just the way she taught us. Kick, 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 breath. Kick, 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 breath. I was doing it. I was really swimming. Thwack! Suddenly I hit something. I resurfed only to find that I swam into one of the buoys that separated the shallow end from the deep end. A few of the other kids laughed when they saw what happened. Mindy, exclaimed Miss Wilson, are you okay? I blew my whistle to tell you to stop, but you just kept going. Sorry, I exclaimed. I'm okay. I was fine, just really embarrassed. I couldn't even look at where the other kids were standing by the steps of the pool. I glanced back toward where Miss Wilson was standing to see where I'd gone wrong. Instead of going straight, I have veered way off course and gone sideways. I bent my knees so my head submerged back into the water. I wanted to hide somewhere, fast. It's all right, Mindy, it happens, Miss Wilson said. Just please remember to look forward and watch where you're going, okay? Can you try swimming back toward me? I nodded. I swam, and this time I focused on my eyes on Miss Wilson. Keeping started to easier now that I was paying attention to where I was going. Thankfully, I didn't swim into anything. When I returned to the back of the line, Lindsay left her hand for a high five. What's that for? I asked, still feeling a bit sad. For doing a whole lap in the pool by yourself, silly. The rest of us have all done it before, but this was your first time, right? She was right. I'd been so embarrassed about swimming into the buoy that I'd totally forgotten my big accomplishment. I high-fived Lindsay. Yeah, go us for learning how to swim. Even though I knew I still needed to practice a lot more, I was really proud of Lindsay and me. Okay, that's end for today's stories, and I hope you liked this book and this video. Okay, bye. Thank you for watching.